So it's been 3 weeks, hasn't it?
It's been 3 weeks since you've seen us.
3 weeks since the opening.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. And what are 3 weeks? You know, I don't think we've had time to sort of really think about it because we've been so busy, and not necessarily busy with renovation, although that has been going on, but busy in here.
The tea room has literally been a buzz of activity.
It's wonderful.
The first couple of weeks after the opening, well, initially after the opening, I was a bit worried that nobody would come. And we'd be sitting here twiddling their thumbs. But it was brilliant. The first day, 10:10, people started walking in the door, didn't they?
Yeah.
And we sold out of Plat de Jour on the first 2 weeks. The only day was yesterday where it was a lot quieter.
But you still did 14 covers.
Still did 14 covers, but one day, what was it? The first day we did 28 covers.
28 covers on the first day, and then
after the opening,
and on the Saturday, and then on the Monday you sold out again.
Yeah.
And then the following week you did the same. But it's not just about you know, the amount of people that have come. It's the feeling in here. And it's probably more than we ever thought would be, because it's such a lovely vibe. It's a really nice vibe. People really like the room, the space. You know, they like in here. Our big chairs, you probably can't see them here, but our big throne chairs are really sought after. People want to sit in the big throne chairs, and it's just got such a lovely buzz and a vibe. And I'm still doing my tours. I thought again, that would be the first couple of days you do, you know, like our opening, we'll do the tours. But everybody is interested with the history, is interested in our story, and everybody's so, you know, buzzed up, if you like.
The feedback has been brilliant, hasn't it? The feedback has been great. And but you've been non-stop doing tours, haven't you?
You know, you have to. You know, it's like, as people are coming in, I have their lunch. I usually greet them when they're coming through. Sometimes they park here, sometimes they park on the road, and I greet them coming in. And we have a little chat and we go through, and I say to them, you know, oh, if you come for lunch, yes, we booked, and all this sort of thing. Oh, but can we have the tour as well, please? And you're thinking, what, really? You know, you can't get over how excited people are to come. I think it's really nice, and especially some of the people who've known this place for years and been driving past, you know, lived in France, you know, English people who've lived in France for ages, and the French who've come, been really intrigued by the place, and now coming and seeing it and saying, this is so nice to have somewhere else to go, and to really enjoy this lovely place, which is fantastic for us.
And we've made loads of new contacts, haven't we? Some really good contacts, which has been brilliant.
Everybody's full of help and advice, which is fantastic. You know, Bronnie, Lesa's waitress, her mum and dad are so helpful because they've been here for a long time, and in the business they're in, the organic farming. They've been really helpful with maybe getting some produce from other places, you know, local produce, because people love that.
And Mikey, well, I couldn't have done without Mikey. Mikey has been here every Saturday, every Monday since we opened, non-stop. He's been baking cupcakes every day for me, every service day. Yeah. And he has just been fantastic. So we've done lots of changes. Like every day we seem to do little changes within the kitchen that just makes service run a little bit smoother. Ted's made us a nice workstation now. And it's just each day we get better and slicker at it, and it gets better. Okay, so Sunday morning and hive of activity as we have Paquita sorting the cutlery. We got Mikey sorting the strawberries. We have our pastry stands filling up. Lovely cupcakes that Mikey made. So Mikey, how do we think it went yesterday?
I think it went really well, Lisa. I think you achieved a lot of, you know, I think you were ambitious in what you wanted to serve, you know, doing the teas and the cake, the tea room stuff, as well as doing you know, a whole 3-course plat de jour. And yeah, I think you pulled it off. I was really impressed.
Oh, was you? I thought it was really good because I think there was a lot of learning yesterday.
Yeah, I think there are, you know, it's one of those things, isn't it, where you've got to do it the first time, and then once you've done it, you'll reflect on what went well and what could be improved upon, and you'll make the changes.
I think everyone seemed happy, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. There was a lot of goodwill, and that's the main thing, and I think you'll get a lot of repeat customers, and that's also, you know.
I was really pleased with the amount of French that came. I was really chuffed with that, and how chatty they were, and how they seemed really pleased with what we were doing, and I was really pleased with that.
And what was lovely was people didn't just want to come and have a cup of tea, or cake, or some food. They wanted to see what you'd done. They were really interested.
They were
in the
interested,
building,
weren't they?
Interested in the renovation. I mean, there was that lovely. Was it that lady who said to you about, you know, how she was just so pleased that someone was...
She said, we are so proud of you. And I thought, from somebody that don't even know us, that's really lovely, isn't it?
So sort of,
Don't you think, saying like, you know...
Taking their heritage on board, it's wonderful that people are feeling that way.
Yeah. I was really pleased. So outside is all set up. We have the marquee because it's been a terrible weekend. Yesterday morning started off really nice, and then poured with rain the whole afternoon. But yeah, so it's set up just in case. We've got all our lovely plants out that Mikey helped me plant really late, at 11 o'clock, half 11 Friday night. Mikey went home. So we've got all our plants outside. I'm just going to take you up to show you the... We've got our stand here that Sheila's at. This is where we check everybody in, check their pass sanitaire, write their names down and give them a spray with the alcohol. So outside... Bonjour, Monsieur Dame! We have our lovely signs up. Doesn't it look good? God, still makes me emotional looking at them. Parking is over in this area at the back for today and yesterday. And Ted's done our sign outside. Oh, there. Café et visite guidée. Ce weekend. I don't know guidé if I said that right, but yes, cafe and guided tours this weekend. So yeah, we're all set to go for another day. We don't think it's going to be as busy today because it's Sunday. The weather's rubbish. It's quite chilly actually, but yeah. So we don't think it's going to be that busy today, but we have got some bookings. Sheila's just setting up now. How do you think it went yesterday, Sheila?
Fabulous. It was such a lovely atmosphere. And
Did you enjoy it?
Yes, I did.
I think Ian seemed to enjoy it in the kitchen as well.
Yeah. I mean, he said he did a bit of everything.
Yeah.
And we've got some fantastic, funny memories to guard. You know, it was lovely. And to hear people laughing and enjoying themselves, you know, what could be better?
Oh, it was brilliant, wasn't it?
Yeah, even with the rain. It just didn't stop us. Didn't stop
I
us.
thought it was lovely seeing this place packed out, because it was, wasn't it? I think, what do you think? We about 200 through the door?
We think 150 to 2.
Yeah.
At a guess.
Yeah. That is brilliant, isn't it? And you had to send some away because they didn't have their sanitaire pass.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. So, back in the kitchen, what have I got to do?
So I've got a little proposal for you for today.
What's your proposal, Mikey?
So I've got Ted to bring me this tape.
Yep.
But he's not very good at doing thirds, so I'm just moving it. So my proposal is this. So I think to help you and to help waiting staff, I think when an order comes in, you know, if it's drinks, plat du jour, entree, or, you know, drinks, cake and scones, drinks, sharing platter, it should go here.
Yep.
And then the ones that are entree, plat du jour, dessert.
Oh, sorry, Sheila.
Once the entree is done and out, you should move them into this zone.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you can see what you're waiting on for
Yeah,
plat.
that's a good
And then
idea.
once the plat's done, they can come here for dessert.
Yep.
And then once everything's out, so if, you know, if it's like tea and cake or tea and the other stuff, once it's all gone out, it can just come from here, get clipped there.
Yeah.
Wait for the, so then we can come and find it.
Yeah.
For when they want the bill.
Bill, that's good.
So, you know, drinks and entree or drinks and total order, plat, dessert, waiting for the bill.
Brilliant. Cool.
Because I just think it would be easier for
Yeah,
you visually. To
I do.
see what,
Yeah, I think that's a good
what
idea.
you're
Because, yeah,
waiting
it was really hard yesterday trying to figure out what is still waiting for and what is not. And
Yeah.
yeah.
So just got to remember
Cool.
to move them down the fridge
Yeah.
as we go.
Thank you very much. The problem is that it is taken over at the moment our lives, and I suppose it will do because at the moment it's very new and we're learning all the time, aren't we?
Yeah.
But it works out now that we are cooking on a Friday, serving on a Saturday, running out quickly doing a bit of shopping on a Sunday morning, cooking on a Sunday, serving on a Monday, which leaves us Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday we're back to shopping again. So we haven't had much time to do much renovation, to be honest with you. So it's been great though. It's been a learning curve. I've now this last week done a load of batch cooking. So I've got loads of stuff in the freezer. So I'm not having to cook all day on Friday and all day on Sunday, which is a lot better.
It is good, you know, because it's all consuming, you know, because it's like, because Lisa, the things she's serving, because she's serving lots of sweet things. So there's lots of cake making and all that sort of thing, which again, she can do, you know, the big batch cooking, because that takes a long time. Like French onion soup, it's taking, you know, hours to cook. The potato gratin, dauphinoise, takes hours to cook.
Beef bourguignon, I've been having to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
4 o'clock in the morning.
On a Saturday morning and a Monday morning, 4 o'clock, just to run out and put the oven on so I get my 7 hours of cooking in.
It's just, yeah. So, but the thing is that it's, you know, that's great as long as it's all done. But there have been days when she's had to do all the cooking of it, all the prep and everything like that. Then still have to get up in the morning to put it on for cooking, you know. So it's all the prep and everything like that. It's, you know, and I know people have had restaurants for a year and a day, and they all say the rewards are good, but it's bloody hard work. And we've started to discover how hard it is to work, you know. And we're up, you know, we don't open for, you know, we open 6 hours a day. But we're up at 7 o'clock in the morning and working all the way through to opening time, prepping the, you know, I'm outside prepping the thing, making sure that the outside looks nice, the gazebo's up and working and everything like that. We've had such problems with that.
So that's a story in itself.
That is a story in itself, and we'll have to tell you about
After the first week, we had 70-mile-an-hour winds one night, and at 10 to 1 in the morning, and Ted on a Sunday morning were out there trying to get the gazebo, the marquee down, because it was just going. But we've bought some storm protectors now, so it's nice and secure.
So so hopefully that we're going to put those on today, and because, you know, the weather. And of course, as soon as you do this, as soon as you get your storm protectors, you know, your great big ratchet straps, the weather turns absolutely beautiful. And we haven't had a sign of rain for the last week, and it's gorgeous out there. It's October, and it's probably, you know, nearly 20 degrees.
As we said, we had some very interesting visitors over the course of the last 3 weeks, and one of them was the mayor's father. Now, as you all know, the mayor's father was born here, and we've spoken to him quite a lot about the history of this place. But he came up with something very interesting this time, didn't he? That he'd failed to mention to us before. Now, you know, in the beginning, we've been told that Chateau de Montmagny had 4 towers, and 3 of them were destroyed by Cardinal Richelieu in 1626. However, there's always been a bit of speculation about where these other towers were. You also know that when we was doing the Fosse Septique, we had a gentleman come who told us that he used to play on some ruins of the towers in the land, on the land. So we questioned the mayor about this and asked him, does he remember there being ruins anywhere on the land of the towers? Because they would have been about the same age. And he said, no, definitely not. There was never any ruins on the land of towers. So then he said, maybe he's thinking of the Pigeonniers, we call the Follies. And we said, no, the Follies are all intact. They're there. There's no ruins there. And he said, oh, no, but they used to be ruins. They used to be the towers. Why he'd never told us this information before, we don't know. So apparently, the two follies that are at the edge of the lake used to be ruins of two towers. Not as large as the tower that's remaining, but still 2 floors in size.
Yeah, possibly 3/4 of the size of the
Yeah.
island than the one we've got here.
And what happened is the previous owner to us used the stone from the ruins to make the pigeonneres. So that answers a lot of questions, because we've always said, haven't we, that the wood in there, the beams and the flooring looks in really good condition and quite new. It can't be that old.
Can't be that old.
But the stone is of the period.
Looks really
and
old,
has all the carvings in it. So that answers a lot of questions. So that's where 2 of the towers used to be, and they are now the pigeonneres. So eventually we get the answers to one of our questions that has formed over these last 18 months. There's a lot more answers to come though, isn't there?
Yeah, a lot more answers.
Now another very exciting find, or not find, but information, was a gentleman that arrived here. And he's ex-Bâtiment de France. He's a stone archaeologist. An old building, is it called a building archaeologist?
Buildings archaeologist, or we think that's what he used to do. But he used to work mainly in Le Creuse, which is the department next to where we are. So he wasn't completely familiar with a lot of the buildings around here, but was fascinated by this one, which is really
He's
good.
published books. He gave us one of his books, and he's gone away to do a lot more research for us and hopefully answer some more questions. But one thing he did say, as we went through to the Carve and then came back through to the tower, you know that in the archives it mentions that the tower, underneath the tower, could be tunnels reaching to Le Souterrain. That we don't know. Je ne sais pas. But he said the formation of the stone at the base of the tower does indicate that it used to go further down into something else, another void. And he said you would definitely have at least, if not tunnels, more carves underneath this building.
Yeah, he said there was a good chance that the carve we have is not your only one.
So that's really exciting, because the fact that the stone shows the formation that it does go down further means that in the future we really do need to excavate under the tower and find out what is there.
Yeah.
Hopefully that buried pot of gold.
Yeah, but probably quite a lot of old bones.
Yeah.
And some broken broken wine bottles.
But he's going to go away anyway, do a lot more research for us and come back. And when we get that information, obviously you'll be the first to know about it.
And he was brought to us. There was a lady who came on the opening on the Sunday, and she lives near Lubignac, which is another ruined castle very close to here, probably about 4 kilometres away. And she lives near Lubignac. And it was her friend, and that she brought, and she also brought a lady who had interpreted for us, who lives in Bessines, which is very, very close to here, and she is completely, she's actually from Paris. I think she was from Paris, wasn't she? But she lives down in Bessines now, and she said she's more than happy to come and do some translation for us. So it might be really nice that we can get him here and do a video for you lot with some interpretation and all that sort of thing, so you can get it firsthand what he's telling us, which would be lovely.
The other thing he did tell us that has always kind of been quite quizzical to us is the plaque that we found above the window, the tea room window. And also the huge stone that we found that has, it looks like a coat of arms on it.
Yeah.
He pointed out the date that is on that coat of arms, which is
1458 or something
1458.
Like that.
And he believes that the plaque and the stone both come from Lubignac. Lubignac was destroyed. I don't know what era.
No, again, it was, it's a long time ago that it was destroyed, and a lot of the stone would have been taken from there to build other dwellings.
So,
and that's the thing. It's like Mondon. We heard that the Forge de Mondon, some of the stone from there has gone to Arnac to build houses in Arnak and build barns in Arnak. So that's what they do. You know, you knock down these great, huge buildings and you bring them to wherever you need to build another building. So we think that, you know, probably a lot of the stone and the incarnations that this has taken has come from, say, Lubignac, because it's so close that it would have been brought here to maybe build things down the line. You know, to rebuild the building that we want to turn into our house, the relay. It may, because that is younger than, you know, the site is of that 12th century. And we had a gentleman here yesterday, didn't we, who said to us the reason why this relay is here, as he's read, is because it was a crossroads. So there's a road opposite the relay, and then this, our chemin that goes down here, went to one abbey, and that road went to another abbey. So it's absolutely true that the monks would have had this as a building because they would pilgrimage to the one abbey to the other abbey and have somewhere in the middle
as a base,
as to stay as a possible monastery. We don't know.
But hopefully that information will come. But as a lady said to us yesterday, these pieces of stone, the plaque, the stone, and the plaque from Fort de Montdon, she said it's très important pour la communauté. It's really important that we've got here not just the history of this place, of Chateau de Montmagnac and the Relais de Poste, but we also have parts of history of many other historical buildings that are around this area that no longer exist, and having them all here in one place is so important to the community, and to be able to keep them. It's just great to know that we're not just the guardians of this place, but we are also the guardians of several other pieces.
This is the thing, that this possibly becomes a communal focal point for history within the region.
Yeah.
And that's a brilliant thing for us.
Great.
Because then it becomes a major pilgrimage for people to come here. And if they can get a nice cup of tea and a cake as well,
even better.
Fantastic.
So now we are going to, for this week, do a bit of planning. We need to sort out where we're going from here, and how we're going to go forward. Yeah. So we're going to take you along on a little planning video. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we're now in the boot room. And I'll put up a quick clip of where the boot room is, so you kind of know where we are in conjunction to the rest of the building. But Charlene arrives in 5 days on Friday. Charlene is one of our patrons. She's been following our vlog since the very beginning, and we can't wait for her to arrive.
Very exciting.
She's going to be spending 10 days in our lovely apartment in exchange for volunteering with us and helping us with the boot room.
Yeah, that's the girl's job, is to transform this.
Yes, in 10 days. Whether we get there or not, I don't know, but we'll see how far we get. So we need to do quite a bit of planning in here. Now, originally, Charlene thought she was going to come out and do the land. She wanted to do some landscaping and help us with the land. But then when she saw our previous video talking about the boot room, she decided she wanted to help me with this. There's a lot of work to be done in here. We've got the lights in here now, but we have no electricity. So hopefully we'll get Lee back to put some electricity in here. But the floor is so uneven and damp. We've got a lot of digging out in here. So I think this is what I would like to do when Charlene gets here.
Okay.
So I would like to get all the mortar off the walls, dig all the walls out so we can mortar the walls, because I know Charlene would like to do a bit of mortaring.
Yeah.
And learn how to do the mortaring. So I think we dig all the walls out, we dig all the floor out because it's so uneven. And I'm thinking the stone comes along and stops here.
Yeah.
Dig all this out and level it off.
Right.
And fill this so it's a complete stone floor.
Right.
Yeah. So if we can dig it out, the stone comes to here, level it out so the stone comes all the way down. Then where we've got that big dip there, dig that out and put in some flagstones there to make some more steps.
So you want to step it back up?
So step it.
Well, yeah. Bearing in mind, it is very tight to this beam.
Yeah.
So the more you can dig out, the better, really,
Yeah.
because then it gives you a bit of height. You'll have to step down because this is going to be your door.
Yeah.
And you step down into it, step down into it, step down into it.
Yeah.
It will be much better. And maybe just because I think it's about. And you're more than welcome to use my laser level, which would be probably quite handy. So you at least know how far you're going down. Because all you've got to do is put it on that there. So you run a line here and then measure off the line.
What I'm thinking is, if we have this bit
I
level to here, where the beam is, and then step it down again to go.
I would dig all this out.
Yeah.
All of this needs to come out because to possibly to this level start with and see where you are.
Yeah.
And then think, right, we need to do it again. But
okay.
this because it looks at the moment it looks like all dirt, but you never know. You could find cobbles underneath it.
Yeah.
Because it just is the accumulation of years and years and years of dirt
coming through the door. Yeah.
And you could have the cobbles could be here. The cobbles could have been taken out.
Yeah.
We don't know, what's under here or whatever. But
that'll be interesting in itself, won't it? So the idea is the boot room becomes literally that, a boot room. So staying guests can come through the door to this side and enter. If they've got wet clothes, shoes, dirty shoes, we're going to have a nice what's it called, like blanket box seating area, so they can take their wet shoes off, but they're going to have a box seat that they put their dirty boots in, so they don't take them up to the room. We're going to have coat racks in here, so they can leave their wet, dirty coats in here.
Yeah.
But also, it's going to be a kind of extension of the kitchen as well, because in the kitchen, we've realised since the last 3 weeks doing our service, we need another fridge freezer in here to be able to store extra drinks and things. So Ted is going to make us a cabinet for this wall. And we're going to have the fridge freezer in here and some more storage in here. Stuff that we don't need on a daily basis in the tea room for service, but stuff that I need for preparation. So is that a little task for you, baby?
Well, I think it's not, a bad idea if we had a fridge and a freezer side by side and you had a worktop over the top. Then you can, you've got a little bit of area, maybe I even put a cupboard over the top or just something like that. But then you've got a little bit of, prep area here as well, that you can come at here, chop some carrots or whatever, just out of the way of, where you are. Just give you a little bit more space.
So, big project for next week.
Massive.
Let's hope Charlene's up for it.
I'm sure she is. She seems like a game girl. She'll get it done.
So that kind of gives you a bit of up to speed on where we're at the moment.
Yeah.
And the planning for next week. Next week, we're going to do a bit more planning on the future of mine and Ted's house. We've kind of changed our minds as to what is a priority now. I think the last 3 weeks has certainly shown us the way the business will run by next year and what we need to be prepared for by next year. So that's something to look out for next week. I think it's
exciting that our plans evolve in different directions than we maybe thought it would. It's interesting. It's really interesting. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. We'll see you next week, everyone.
See you later.
Take care. Don't forget, like and subscribe.
Please.
Bye.
Thank you. We need to get over that 7,000 mark.
So we can look in the other room.
Yeah, which is that way.
See you later. Bye.
Take care. Good. Good one.
Love you. We've got lots of work to do, baby. We would like to say a huge thank you to all of our supporters, from our patrons to our GoFundMe donors, the people that are buying us a coffee on Go Buy Me a Coffee, and you, our subscribers, each week watching the adverts for us to give us a little bit of income each month, even if it just adds up to a bag of sand in your hands. Take care, everyone. See you all next week. Bye-bye.
I hate to see you leaving, my summer dress girl. These feelings that you give me don't get better in the world. I could tell you I don't care, but it's a lie. Can't stand to hear you say those words, baby, goodbye. Now she takes me to all much more. Always really knew what I was looking for. Someone to share my dreams, someone to follow